What are you guys starting with? Setting? All right, how would you describe Max's setting?
Like
For this?
in the book, it's a small town. In the movie, it's a big city.
All right, what are you guys starting with?
It's quiet. Where we did a point of view.
What point of view is our story?
First person, because there's a character in the story and it uses IMB.
Okay, who is the person telling our story then?
Max.
Okay, bonus question. Do you know what we call that? So we have point of view as first person, and then it's Max's what? Starts with a P. It's Max's.
Perspective.
Yes, good job. It's Max's perspective. So perspective is whose eyes we're seeing it through. So it's first person point of view, Max's perspective. Awesome.
Max is tall, quiet. He thinks he's dumb. Yeah.
That's a good description. How would you describe Max's the setting of our book?
He lives in a city, in a neighborhood,
Is it a city?
kind of.
It's kind of like a neighborhood, like
Think about how Rodman Philbrick describes the town that Max lives in. Okay, we know that the setting is something that was very different in the movie than it was from the book. So what is the setting according to the book?
Like a small neighborhood, and then the when is like the start. The start of summer vacation.
Yeah, absolutely. So our story takes place in the summer, kind of the start of summer vacation. Although we are up to what year in school now?
The first year.
That's not the first year.
are in
8th
December.
grade.
8th grade. That's a good way to describe him. Did you include the other main character?
Yeah, I'm about to list his things
Okay.
right now.
All right.
He is smart.
Have you guys had a chance to think about the inciting incident yet?
No.
All right, I'm gonna come back when you guys get to that part. What do you guys think the inciting incident is?
The ornithopter scene, because that's when they really became friends.
The ornithopter
But
scene?
Trenton thinks it's Tony D.
Because everything like just
Because that's also when they became Freak the Mighty.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, listen, so there is not one right answer. There isn't one right answer. Okay, this is an analysis. So, Victoria, you might read this story and say, you know what, I feel like this is the inciting incident. It's when Max helped him get the ornithopter out of the tree that made their friendship become possible. And then, Trent, you can say the same thing. You say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I think it's more the 4th of July scene when Max and Kevin had to run away from Tony D, and that's kind of when they became Freak the Mighty. And you can both be right. It's really about what evidence you use to support your answer. So you can think that the inciting incident is the ornithopter scene, and you can think that it's the 4th of July. And you can, well, I would want you to put down yours, and I'd want you to put down yours. And then as long as you have your supporting reasons, that's what you need to have, your reasons for why you believe that. Okay? And you guys can both, again, there's not one right answer. All right? I would tend to think the scene where their friendship becomes possible is the ornithopter scene. But I also like Trent's thinking. The scene where Freak the Mighty becomes possible is on the 4th of July. And then Daphne, you're in the middle. You can be like, okay.
If they didn't have the ornithopter scene, they wouldn't have been to the 4th of July together.
And see, that's a good point. If the ornithopter scene never happened, they never would have had the 4th of July. Again, because I like his chain of thinking. But this is why I tend to agree, I think, more with the ornithopter scene. But there's not a right or wrong answer here. This is an analysis. This is what you're getting out of the story, and this is what Daphne's getting out of the story, and this is what you're getting out of the story, Victoria. All right, this is what you're seeing. Good, keep it going. Couple more minutes, guys. I think that's all you should probably need to get through some of this. You guys are on point of view?
Oh, we're on conflict.
No, you don't have to do conflict.
Oh, don't worry.
We're only doing exposition and inciting incident and point of view today.
Oh, we're not doing setting or main character.
Yeah, that exposition is setting and main characters.
Oh, alright, then we're done.
Okay? Remember, exposition is setting and main characters. What'd you guys put down for the point of view? What point of view is it?
First person.
What is it?
First person.
Whose perspective is it?
Max.
It's Max's. Good. What do you guys think the inciting incident is?
Kevin telling Max to die or fling die. Because that started up the whole story.
Okay, but does that start their friendship? Do we have a story about friendship? And
Wait, when Max brings Kevin down in the down under.
okay, one of the questions I heard another group mention that I really liked is, what made that scene possible? Max inviting Kevin down to the down under.
The ornithopter scene.
The ornithopter scene made that possible. Is there anything that made the ornithopter scene possible?
Kevin moving into the neighborhood.
Something we haven't spoken about before is Kevin moving into the neighborhood. Is that the inciting incident? Like the idea that Kevin moving into the neighborhood could also be an inciting incident. Because Kevin does have to move into the neighborhood for these guys to be friends, right? But just because he does move into the neighborhood, does that mean that they will be friends?
No.
No, I grew up with lots of guys around me. Some of them I was friends with, some of them I wasn't. But it was during that ornithopter scene that Ari just mentioned that what character trait does Max show towards Kevin? When the bird is stuck up in the tree?
He shows integrity.
Okay.
To get the
Kind.
to get the ornithopter out of the tree.
Yeah, integrity. I like that. I haven't heard that one before, so that's good. And kind and helpful. So it's this helpful kindness that Max shows Kevin that kind of starts the friendship. Because Die Earthling Die, that's certainly not a foundation for a friendship, right? And moving into a neighborhood, well, yes, that certainly made the scene possible. But I think that Max's choice in that scene to go help Kevin is really kind of something that kickstarts these guys' friendship. All right, are you guys done?
Yeah.
All right. What did you guys say it was for point of view again?
First person, Max's perspective.
All right, it was first person and it's Max's perspective. All right. All right, what part are you guys on now?
The main characters.
All right, we know who they are. Who are they?
Max and Kevin.
All right, and how would you describe Max and Kevin? Start with one of them. Who do you want to start with, Lily? Kevin, how would you describe Kevin?
Smart.
Smart. What else would you say about Kevin?
Brave.
Brave. And the setting, is it the same or is it different?
Different.
It is, it's very different. The book describes the setting very different than the way that the movie portrays it. Okay, so make sure you focus on the book, okay, Brayden?
Okay.
All right, and then also it's also the when. Think about when is it for Max?
8th grade.
Yeah, it's really the summer before 8th grade and 8th grade. So that's the when. We know where we are. And then try to also describe his town a little bit. How's this group doing? Did you guys get to the inciting incident yet?
No.
What point of view is it? Yeah, you guys know this. You think it's third person limited. All right, third person limited. Read the definition of third person limited.
The narrator or an outside observation.
Is an outside observer.
Observer that is limited to knowing the thoughts and feelings of just one character.
Okay, take that book that's by Nora's left hand. Open to page 1. Now give it to Jacob. Let him borrow it for a second. Read the first line.
I never had a brain until Steve came along and let me borrow his for a while. And that's the truth, the whole truth.
Okay. Is the narrator an outside observer?
No.
No. Okay, so Nora says it is. It is first person. Why is it first person? Brayden, or Jacob, look at first person. What does it say?
The narrator is a character in the book.
Yeah.
The story use pronouns like I and we.
Who's the narrator, Jacob?
No.
Who's the one that never had a brain?
Max.
Max. Who's telling the story?
Max.
So it's what point of view?
First person.
First person point of view. And we say that it's Max's perspective. All right, so what do you guys think the inciting incident is?
Max helping Kevin getting his ornithopter
Or, thank you, Bryce, for correcting her that I don't have to do it.
out of the tree.
Okay, so this is the scene that you think makes their friendship possible.
Yes.
Okay. All right, is there any other options?
The fireworks.
You know why I like the ornithopter scene better, though?
Because he actually physically did something.
He makes a choice. Kevin moving into Max's neighborhood is chance that these two kids would end up in the same neighborhood. But yours over here with the ornithopter scene, Max has to make a choice. He's already been told to die, Earthling die by this kid. And yet he sees him struggling and he chooses kindness over hate and he goes and helps him. And that is why their friendship starts. Because Max decides to be kind. Max and Kevin, what?
Meet each other.
Yeah, it's probably not Tony D. That's
Okay.
the less more important thing.
All right.
Everything starts around the time Max and Kevin meet
So listen, but we need what event? Where is the event where these guys first meet each other and interact?
The ornithopter.
Did you get to the inciting incident?
Yes, we did.
What did you guys think it was, Zoe?
When Max says, I never had a brain until Freak came along, and we thought that was good.
It is a good idea. However, even in that opening line, when did Freak come along? What is the first scene that Max interacts with Kevin?
When Kevin moved in,
When Kevin moves in and Max sees Freak doing what?
playing with the ornithopter.
Yes, going back to that. So I like how you guys tuned into that. I never had a brain until Freak came along. So now we have to think in our story, when does Freak come along? So which one are you guys starting on?
Point of view.
All right, starting with the point of view. What is the point of view of our story?
It's first person. Max is telling it.
Okay, first person, Max is telling it. All right, what stage of plot are you guys starting with?
Main characters.
But what stage of plot? Starts with an E. Thank you. You're starting with the exposition. All right, and what part of the exposition?
The main characters.
The main characters. Okay, easy question. Who are the main characters?
Max and Kevin.
All right, what are you putting down for how to describe these guys?
Now you want to answer.
Max thinks he's dumb,
Good.
and Kevin, he's really smart.
All right, what part are you guys starting with?
Main character.
All right, you're starting with the main characters. Now, main characters, look at your sheet. What stage of plot is that a part of?
Sorry.
What part of the plot are main characters?
Exposition.
Thanks, Spencer. They're part of the exposition in the beginning where we get to learn about our main characters. So who are they?
Max and Kevin.
Okay, now we should be writing down a few things that we know about these guys. What are some things that you know about Max and Kevin? Good, thanks, Brayden. Max thinks he's dumb. What about Kevin?
Kevin is very smart.
Kevin's very smart. So you guys are on the setting? What do you have for the setting? So try to focus on the book. So when we're reading the book, you're envisioning Max to have a small town.
Yeah.
The setting then is Max's small town. And then we can try to describe it. Is this a nice town or is this a bit of a rough town?
A rough town.
What else do you guys have to do after you're done with the setting?
Inciting incident.
Inciting incident. I'm curious. That's the one I'm most curious about to find out. What do you guys think is the event that gets their friendship started? I'll come back, okay? All right, so you guys already did your inciting incident, right? What do you think the inciting incident is?
When Kevin gets his ornithopter stuck in the tree.
Okay, and
That's
Max.
what starts.
And yeah, so when Kevin gets his ornithopter stuck in the tree and Max helps. So listen, I think one of the big important things about understanding inciting incident is most times our main character makes a choice. All right, and here Max makes a
Choice to help him get his ornithopter.
very good. Okay, my boy group. What do you guys think the inciting incident is?
When Max spies on Kevin in his backyard.
Ornithopter scene.
Okay.
So that's when it starts getting big. And then that's like the moment he starts like being kind to Kevin. And that's really when that friendship grows. And
Yeah.
then to the point that he's doing like the quest like in the sewers.
Yeah, that's the moment where the friendship becomes possible, right? Okay, good. You guys have all that down?
Yeah.
So are you guys done? Have you filled in your exposition? Yeah, you got your setting and your main characters. You do. So point of view, you do write first person. If you want to go above and beyond, I would ask you this, Brayden. Whose perspective is it? It is first person point of view. Whose perspective is it?
Max's.
So you could write first person point of view, Max's perspective. All right, you guys can go back to your seats. You guys are ready to go on? All right, did you guys get an inciting incident down?
Yes, we just finished.
What do you think it is?
When the ornithopter got stuck in the tree.
Okay, what about that scene makes it the inciting incident?
That's how they became friends.
In the inciting incident, we're looking for a place where our main character makes a choice. So what was the choice that Max made to make this the inciting incident?
Help Kevin get the ornithopter out of the tree.
That's it. Stop right there. That's absolutely right. Max choosing to help Kevin. If Max makes a different choice there, might these guys not become friends?
Nope.
Yeah, there's there's a possibility that these guys don't ever become friends. They start to become friends because in that moment, Max chooses to be helpful. If he never chose that, we might have a very different story. All right, you girls, write that down and then come back to your seats, okay? What part are you guys gonna start on? All right, so what part of plot is that though?
Exposition.
Yeah, it's an exposition. All right, so the easy question is, who are our main characters?
Max and Kevin.
All right, now you're gonna write down some things that you know about them, okay?
Okay. I put in parentheses, Max is big, Kevin is small.
Can I say my idea for the inciting incident?
Yeah.
My idea for the inciting incident is that it's when Max puts Freak on his shoulders because it's a really important part and it like gets the whole friendship rolling. Like, it maybe if he never did that, they wouldn't be on all these adventures and everything because Max is like the horse.
Yeah, it was, and it was such an important story because part of it, because they put it on the cover too.
Yeah, so I think the inciting incident is that.
So when Max chooses to put Kevin on his shoulders at the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Fireworks. Good, that's what you're gonna write down. All right, again, I like that you've got some reasoning. Now, here's the cool thing. I actually think there's another moment, which I think works better, but I love that you guys have this and you have good reasoning behind it. So you're gonna write that down. The inciting incident is when Max chooses to put Kevin on his shoulders for the first time at the fireworks. And again, you guys have good reason. This is when they kind of start to become Freak the Mighty. Max becomes like the horse.
Yeah.
Kevin becomes like the knight. Good. So write it down. That's a good start. You'll see. Well, we'll talk about what the other groups found for what they think the inciting incident is as a whole group. Parts are you guys working on, or what part are you done with already?
We're done with point of view, inciting incident, and we're working on setting.
You're so tall. What's the point of view?
First person.
Okay, it is first person. Now, here's a bonus question. Challenge question. Whose perspective is it? Max's. So we say it's first person point of view, Max's perspective. Because it could be first person point of view, but Kevin could be telling the story and we'd have a different story.
It started when Max got Kevin's ornithopter out of the tree.
Good. You don't need the it started. You can just say Max got Kevin's ornithopter out of the tree. Because that's the event. Max got the ornithopter out of the tree. So that is the event that makes the rest of the story possible?
Yeah.
All right, because that's what you're saying.
Some friends.
If Max chooses something different, we don't have a story.
Yeah.
Max gets that ornithopter out of the tree. What about Kevin moving into the neighborhood?
Yeah, that's actually kind of true because they could have never been friends.
Like, they didn't really start to become friends when he moved in. They started to become friends when Max got the ornithopter out of the tree.
Good, nice argument. And what else have you guys done? Have you done the setting?
Well, we did
point of view.
All right, you should have what for point of view?
first person.
First person. Whose perspective is it?
Max.
Good. All right, you want me to come back? You guys can do setting and characters?
Yep.
All right, do setting and characters.
Okay. So this
Point of view. Okay, it's not Max's point of view. It is Max's something though. What point of view is it? Flip back a couple pages. Because you only have 4 choices for point of view.
First person
You think it's first person?
is in the character's talking view, so and Max is talking.
Oh. Okay, good. So you got it. This is what point of view? First person. And then we could ask this question, Melody. Whose perspective is it? And that is Max's perspective. Okay? So it's what point of view is first person. And then we're experiencing this story through Max's eyes. So we say it's Max's perspective. What else have you guys done? What do you guys think it is?
We think it's getting the ornithopter out of the tree because that's how they meet and stuff.
Okay. So you agree, ornithopter. All right, what's the choice that Max makes?
He chooses to get it out of the tree.
All right, good. He chooses to get it out of the tree for Kevin. All right, really cool. And I'm glad the other group over there, they have a different inciting incident. So it's exciting to see. We got different people that are analyzing the story in different ways.